Thank you, Hudson, for having me.
Say who you are and what and what.
Yes. Well, I am Terrance Wilson. My grandmother was Olive Hilda Ujas. My father, Desmond Perrott. My great-great-grandmother, Gertrude Langdon. My great-great-great-grandmother was Mary Jane Langdon. So that's, Mary Jane Langdon was the daughter. Now, she was the wife of, Mary Jane Langdon was the wife of the Jupiter Langdon, the two African descendants who came from Africa to Grenada, from whom the entire Malcom X family and others derived from. They had 6 children. The first child was Edgerton Langdon. The second one was Edith Langdon. The third one was Gertrude Langdon. That's my grandmother's mother. And the daughter of Mary. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you very clear, man.
And the daughter of Mary Jane Langdon. The second one, that's Edith Langdon. She was Malcom X's grandmother. That's his mother. The fourth one was Reginald Langdon. He had no children. The fifth one was Florence Langdon. She had some children. She had Roy and Tony Coxall. And the sixth and the last one was Ave Langdon. In family circles, she is known as Belzina Langdon. So from these people here, Belzina Langdon. So from these names I called for you here, all the family derived.
So
that's the foundation family.
And the Londons, they all in St. Andrew now, or they moved to other parishes?
Well, they moved to other parishes from St. Andrew.
Okay, all right.
So they spread and they scattered.
Yeah. So you said that you told me that you went and do something like a lecture on the family in the US. What was the name of the university and what state?
Well, I went to the US at the invitation of the African American Department of History through Professor Eric McDuffie. And the name of the university was Champaign
University.
Yeah, that's in
Chicago,
Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah, Champaign, Illinois.
And the audience were very interested.
Yeah,
interested to know.
Interested in what they heard.
And the story.
Vision. It was me and Malcom X's niece, Deborah Jones, from Michigan, that did the lecture.
From Michigan.
Which was open to the public.
Because I think Malcom X was born in Detroit area, right?
Detroit, he was born in that place he was born in America.
In around the Detroit area.
Yeah, he was born there.
So you talk about the people in Grenada. Well, you know, Grenada have a problem with them. There are a lot of over from the time the Grenada Revolution came. There is a lot of scholarly people who do writing and so, but what I observe with most of our scholars in Grenada, or people who write, they will ask you for information, but they don't give you, they don't use you in reference to say what the contribution you made into the information you give them. Do you experience that too?
Yes, I have experienced that. Yeah. On one occasion, some information which I shared with a professor of Grenadian background who came to Grenada, and she was doing research or investigation into Malcom X's mother.
Yeah.
So she came to the quarry and she met me and we had conversations. And the information I shared with her, she ended up printing some of that information in a newspaper, the Grenada Voice, February 24th, 2023. If you get that newspaper copy, you could see the information. And the information was entirely different to what we discussed.
Yeah. Okay.
She actually left out Malcolm X's mother's uncle as her uncle in that newspaper article.
Now,
Like
could
she
it
must
be,
have forgot that this.
could it be maybe she forget, you think?
Well, I don't know, but that's what I'm putting it. Maybe
I mean, the information you give and you didn't see chop.
yeah, I didn't see it up. So I wondered if she had forgotten
Yeah.
to include that information because she knew that Edgerton Langdon was the uncle of Louis Langdon.
Our
And it
next
was
thing, our next thing again is how come the Grenadian scholarly people never try to document the Malcolm X family in Grenada or try to give them media coverage or anything?
well, I think is as a result of the old colonial mindset that some of them still clinging on to, where a certain class of people must have certain level of control, and they must be the ones that must say this and say that, and anybody else beside that.
You don't
They
get,
discard.
yeah, but everything have a foundation and a root. So
But
when
when they do that, they are actually killing that information. They are suppressing it.
okay, so what's about the area where Malcolm X mother was born? Do people visit that area?
Yes, people visit that area all the time. Even
Yeah.
recently, I had some visit from two people from America there. That one is a anthropologist or something,
Yeah.
and a filmmaker. And it was as a result of a T-shirt which I had done in Grenada here
Yeah.
to promote Malcolm X
Yeah.
as a Grenadian, because the T-shirt shows clearly Grenadian like me.
Yeah. Grenadian like you. But you say
Yeah.
when the experience you have, for example, when the Grenadians come for the story, they don't really want to tell the true story. But they don't want to give the references where they get the story from.
No, they don't want to do that, most of them. They don't want to give the credit, to who
So,
deserve the credit, actually.
oh well, so then they're not going into the roots of the.
Probably they don't want to know.
So
Because
basically, as Grenadian people interviewing you, they are Grenadians, but when they interview you, they don't really interview you like the Grenadian. They invite you like what I always say. They come like academias.
oh yeah. You have to be certified from the institution before they can
Or
actually allow you
to
that kind of opportunity to say anything. They don't want no ordinary person who are from grassroots level to tell them anything.
okay. So this year the Malcolm X family came to Grenada. I know they come for carnival something.
But I never even know if any one of them came for carnival.
No. I asked if they came this year.
No, not to
But
my
I know
knowledge.
they came in the past.
Yeah, they came in the past.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't say they come this year.
Yeah.
So what is your plan now to do? Are you want to write your own story or about the Malcolm X family and make it more grassroots, more, or you say down to earth, so that it might be the ordinary people might gravitate to it more than when the intellectuals write about Malcolm X from an academic point of view, and the information they giving is for for
But
academic reading.
oh yeah.
Oh, because in the academia belongs to a class, you know.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah,
when things don't trickle down, then the ordinary people don't really grasp into it. So are you in the future hoping to write a book or something like the Malcolm X family? I mean, being as you active, why don't you, as a family, come together and write something or document something about the family?
Well, I have.
Then scholarly people coming to you and you say the way they come in is not, they don't really grasp it.
That's true.
Okay.
Well,
So
they have to count themselves fortunate that I, as a family member, I took the time, sat down with my grandparents and my father, and they furnished me with the information family wise. So I know and I got the family history from way back when to all up to now, and I have it well documented. I have a book on it which is in the pipeline, hoping to get it published sometime when God would permit me.
so therefore you the walking dictionary with this story.
Well, maybe you could say that. I've got the
So
story.
when people visit the Malcolm X, the place of Malcolm X mother's birth, do they just walk into your place or they phone you before they come?
No such thing. They just walk into the place with certain people bring them there. They walk into the place and they walk out. So I am trying to put some order into this. At one occasion was sometime last year, a film company from the US with some Grenadians. You have some of them from down here and some from the US. I heard on the news that they had this big thing to go on up there. And they would be filming the sites and whatnot and so on. So when I heard that and they did not give me no invitation, I called my attorney and let them know that they must seek permission. They cannot just walk into the place like that because we have an organization in place. They said they never knew that because our news media are a bunch of hypocrites. They want to have the news to suit certain people. They won't tell it as it is.
Well, do you think that, well, like the reason why you contact me, I just do live, right?
That's right.
Right. My life is rural and grassroots.
That's right.
Like tell it as it is. We are rural Grenadian.
That's right.
Because if you listen to other Caribbean people, I listen to Guyanese, Barbadian, Trinidadians, Jamaicans, and other places where Dominicans, they do a lot of storytelling and so on. Mix it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But you could get the academic part in it and the grassroots part in it. But in Grenada, it's not common that I notice the people who do literature in Grenada, they keep everything
to themselves.
Like a kind of academic stuff. But for example, there is a Grenadian man who wrote a book called Belvedere something, Mr. Horman Hall.
Yeah.
And he is a scholarly man, but the way he write it in a kind of Grenadian way,
Yeah. Down to
so yeah. But we don't see a lot of people write like that. They more write in like a kind of academic format.
Oh
but
yeah.
maybe if they do it if these people are brilliant people and they know the grassroots level, so perhaps if they do some creative writing or writing from that point of view, perhaps it might be better for them to connect with the mainstream Grenadian population.
That's right.
Right. Because we have a language. It's
That's right.
not every time you have to go academic.
Nah.
For example, if you look at the carnival, the song "Hold Him, Hold Him, Hold Him," you know, the song about the guy who do agriculture work and he said that steal his crops.
Yes.
What is his name again? Romulus or whatever is his name.
Yeah, it's something so.
Yeah, it sounds like this, you know. So like I was in the Caribbean and I noticed that soca artist from Carriacou, Grenada.
Yeah.
Skinny Bantan, the way he composed songs, and people love it because I went in Caribbean and I heard his music playing, and some of the songs is not 2023 soca song. This is soca song that he have a catalog. So people love his music. They always play it. Or like that guy Mandela Links or Links, or you call it.
Yeah, Mandela Links.
He have a song Jab Jab on my tombstone, and you know the way people gravitate to the. I living in Canada, and I could tell you the Grenadian song when it still play, you know. So maybe if people write with connection like that, perhaps he might be more able to.
Yeah.
Because you write too, you do a lot of poems, poetry, and so, you know. Well, tell me about the poetry business, poetry literature business in Grenada now. How it going in the rural Grenada? Nobody does nothing.
But in rural Grenada right now,
there's no literature club or nothing.
Exactly, we don't have that. Okay. Like before, you know, everything is a St. George's thing. If we have some program of literature, young authors, everything is St. George's. Nothing is in store for the outer parishes. They don't have that. Like St. George's is Grenada. Even the libraries, we don't even have a library in St. Andrews.
So why is it everything in St. George's, but when it comes to competition like soca, monarch, calypso king, cultural stuff, why is the citizens from the rural parishes that always win the top prizes? So is it, if you look at Grenada, in St. George's, the Grenadian culture is dying.
It has died.
Now you have pockets like maybe Vendôme, Willis, St. Paul's thing happening in St. Paul's, but the St. Paul's culture is not as rural as perhaps Willis or Vendôme.
It's true.
And then until you cross the border to St. David, then you get.
Yeah.
Because I meet people from Pedmuta in Canada, and they identify them, even though they're from St. David, they tell you they identify themselves with St. George's. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And when so what caused that kind of mentality in Grenada? Is it a legacy of colonialism, or I personally believe that mentality came because the British wanted to get rid of French Creole. You know, in colonialism, the British wanted to get rid of anything that was part of the French.
Yes, that's true.
So you have to look at the build schools in the city. You have the first 4 schools, secondary schools, were built in the city. I think they say St. Joseph Convent was first, and then grammar school, what they call GBSS, second. But they say that the 2 school was open the same year, but the St. Joseph Convent in St. George's, they opened a few months before the grammar school.
Yeah.
Right. And then you had Anglican High, and then they have PBC. So and even I don't know if you notice, people in your village who went to school in town, is after I get to realize that in the beginning I didn't pick it up. I'm from Hermitage. People who in the village who went to school in the city, those men, the men. I can't say for the ladies because you know, for socialization in Grenada, when we growing up, we line on the block as men. As young men. The ladies pass, who say hi, who didn't say hi. You don't really socialize with them. This is how our culture was in Grenada. This is why I notice I find young people in Grenada more interacting than long ago. The closer. That's what I don't know. I'm not in Grenada, but I think young people today, male and female, are closer.
Yeah,
maybe I might be wrong. So I'm saying
interactive, yeah.
What I'm saying is that growing up in Grenada and you're liming on the block with guys who went to school in maybe PBC or GBSs, we were naive of it, but they had that attitude too.
Yeah.
But it's after how I get to know that, how I figure it out is when we had the revolution, and I spent some time in the PRA, and then I realized that you're born in a country and you didn't know the country.
Yeah.
Grenada is not the people are not totally connected yet. There is the St. George's or St. George, but they say St. George's. Anything in St. George Parish versus
anything out of
St. George. So
yeah. So the line was drawn right there.
So I think
maintain this kind of a superiority complex.
But then again, what is puzzling is they are the same people who talk about colonialism the most and imperialism.
Yeah.
Are they aware that they carry a legacy of colonialism, even though they do all the right stuff? Sometimes they're more anti-imperialist in their writing,
but in no action to back up that.
Okay. So so what you see in the future to change Grenada with that? Do you believe that now, as we have a new government, now I'm not into the politics in Grenada.
Yes.
But I don't say too much. I've been observing the political change. How they call it, transformation, or what they say in Grenada? What is the word now they use?
Transformation.
So I'm not a youth, so I just watching the transformation, right?
Yeah.
The present prime minister is in his what, 40s?
Yeah.
Middle 40s.
Yeah, 45 thereabouts. Something
right, 45. Right. And there's a lot of young people in the government. Some of the ministers, they could be like they could be a little over 60, but not even middle 60 yet.
Yeah.
Just
they are younger ones.
Just over 60 and down.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, I don't trouble the political activities that are going on. I'm more interested in learning or observing.
Yeah, or even enlightening a positive contribution. As you have
because I'm trying to understand this new crop of young people in Grenada, so I don't want to interfere with what's going on. But and another point where I don't want to interfere with a lot of things in Grenada now. When I go back to after March 1379, we had the PRG, but the PRG was more like a St. George's based government.
That's right.
Right. And sometimes rural people were more under heavy manners.
Yeah, in a lot of cases.
Right. So then we went to the Blaze era. How about Blaze? Then we went to Kit Mitchell.
Yeah.
Kit Mitchell ruled the longest, perhaps he's the longest ruler in the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I think so. So Kit Mitchell started with minister of what? Something mobilization and what work. So he built road and light and electricity.
Yeah.
Right? But I find in the later part of Kit Mitchell, even though he had a rural base, I find he's in the last 2 terms he ruled when he had all the seats in parliament. I find he went back to a more St. George's base, even though he had rural support.
Yes.
Well, because
that was quite clear.
If you look at the development of Grenada, they all concentrated in the
south of the island.
So, the deep south.
Yeah.
Which led us to you could say, St. George Parish got 2 cities.
Oh, yeah.
Because the first time I observed it.
Yeah, that's true.
Was in 2007. I spent a little time in Grenada and I realized I was telling myself, Grenada's area looked like Brampton and Mississauga, Toronto.
Yeah.
Brampton, Mississauga, Ontario, border in Toronto. I find that's what was created.
But that southern part of the island is well developed and is highly Americanized.
This is why now we have people talk about things like LGTB. What is it? LBGTQ.
Yeah.
Movement is coming into Grenada.
Yeah.
What most Grenadians doesn't understand, I was listening to them on the radio. The south of Grenada is as you said, is Americanized. The other day I told them that when a country, Grenada was invaded by the United States. So I remember George Slush. He was the Secretary of State in the U.S. government after the invasion. When he visited Grenada, he said that Grenada is primary real estate.
Oh, yeah.
And this is why. So in the invasion, after the invasion, we get more Americanized and you have more American influence, more buildings, more. Imagine our money is easy, but if you're in real estate, you could collect US dollar for renting places.
Yeah.
Right. So then the American culture is here. So right now, Grenada got 3 cultures on mainland Grenada.
Yeah.
You have the American culture in the deep south. You have the old colonial British mentality in old St. George's, which is still the capital city.
Yeah, and then
you have the outer parish people. We are creolized Grenadian.
That's right. And they don't like to hear the truth like that, When you tell them that, this is what they don't want to hear. So they shut it out completely. They don't want to hear that. They're afraid to talk.
So
what is correct?
What I was saying again, I was saying that why are not really troubling the new government? When I say trouble, I don't really criticize them much. I'm looking at the MPs, because in the end of Mitchell's legacy was everything deep south, right?
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the MPs, and there's a lot of the prime minister is from St. David, a rural area, and most of the government ministers with portfolios, they belongs to the various constituencies in the rural
Community.
parishes.
Yeah.
So I say, well, okay, I'll just sit back and watch to see what they will deliver, because transformation, I want to know if they recognize that the masses of Grenadians are rural.
Maybe they might forget that.
No, I want to know if that's going to come back now. Being as we have ministers in this government that is with portfolios in from rural parishes, but they have portfolios in government. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, understand.
Right. So we're watching and see. And then another thing again too I observe is that in terms of culture, you could tell the difference again between the people in the South and the North, because if you look at the jab or diab,
yeah,
the jab masquerade in the country or in the rural Grenada is
that's right. Rural Grenada.
This is the real authentic jab.
Yeah, that's true.
So again, what it goes back to, the influence of the British in St. George destroy some of our traditional culture. Oh,
that's quite true.
Or perhaps, what do you think? I want to hear your views, man. What do you think?
Well, they're promoting the fancy mass and the Shakespeare mass and all these kind of a mass.
Well, the Shakespeare mass is in Carriacou. It's not in St. George. Yeah. Shakespeare mass is a igungun, you know. It's a igungun. You don't find that in St. George. You find it in Carriacou. Okay. Right.
Okay.
So the Shakespeare mass, the Vekor, and the Chutney. This is rural culture that we made.
Yeah, the Vekor came out from Victoria.
Victoria and Guave, but
yeah. And that was the first Europeanized mass.
Well, people say that, but I don't really believe that, you know. Because if you watch a lot of mass,
maybe.
If you watch a lot of masquerade in West Africa, Vekor look like it. You don't necessarily. I don't think it's a European mass. It could be people saying that, but they don't have proof, because when you watch a lot of masquerade in Cote d'Ivoire, a lot of West African place, you see similarities with Vekor. But Chutney is Igungun. You could tell from the Yoruba people. And also the Shakespeare mass is a Igungun too. Kind of Igungun. Plus, there was a next mass that they call Sweet Mass. Where the men, they used to wear, he had looked like between a Shakespeare and a Chutney. He was very popular in my village, Hermitage, and St. Patrick, and then because St. Patrick is close to St. Andrew border, people from St. John's, St. Andrew used to play with St. Patrick people, Hermitage people in St. Patrick. They used to merge and have a Sweet Mass band. Yeah. So these mass, they kind of, you could see the Igungun Yoruba culture in it.
Yeah.
But in St. George, they didn't keep nothing. They didn't keep, what they have in town, they celebrate it in, do you know they celebrate Guy Fawkes Day in Montjalou?
Oh yeah, in Montjalou, yeah, I know that.
And Montmaurice.
Montmaurice, yeah. Well, why are they celebrating Guy Fawkes Day?
Well, okay.
I don't understand that. They don't celebrate. At one time, some years ago, if you could remember, in Grenada here after the revolution, we used to be celebrating Marcus Garvey Day. That is not being celebrated anymore, you know.
Well, Pan-Africanism is something kind of dead in Grenada, you know. There is something.
We don't celebrate that anymore, you know.
And next thing again, they did in Grenada, which is bad. You know, when we were growing up, 4th and 2nd of August. 1st of August used to be Emancipation Day. What was it? Why they interfere with that too? The other day I asked on Facebook. Why they interfere in that? And people coming up with all kind of fake excuses, you know.
Well, to me, what I've seen is that they are interfering with everything historical on behalf of the old colonial masters. For example, I could remember when I was growing up in Hartford Village. You know, there was a place they call Two Congo.
To Congo.
Two Congo people from Africa
Yeah.
were living there. And after some years passed, they had all the descendants and their family and their ancestry, right? They multiplied from right there. They decided to change the name of Tukongo to St. Mary's because they find the name Tukongo is too shameful and common, as they say, and too ugly.
Oh, so they changed that name.
But so they changed the name of Tukongo to St. Mary's. That's what it is today.
There is a place when you reach Moya Bridge. One, I think it's on the either between John Framlin and Carrier. Before you meet Harman, there's a place up there they call Congo Town.
Yeah, Congo Town. I know Congo Town.
Yeah.
And so, based on that name, it could be very possible that we had people from the Congo living there.
Because I'm from Hermitage, and you have a place we call names. We have a place called Tugugu. We have Zulu Mountain. Zulu Mountain. And then you have Chacha Mountain.
Yeah, all that is African.
Yeah, Chacha and Zulu. Zulu Mountain is across on the St. Andrews side. Yeah. Chacha is on the St. Patrick side. So you have a you understand? So you have Zulu on, like on both sides of the river. But there is more Zulu on the St. Andrews side, and then you have Chacha on the St. Patrick side. So Chacha, all these words. So why I know a place in in Montreach Estate called Zombie.
Zombie.
Yes.
You know, all this passing Montreach and that great house there.
You have a place again when you're going up after you pass Peggy's Swim, we call it Zabuko. I don't know what Zabuko means.
Yeah, I know. And then they call the slave pen. That's after.
Oh no, the slave pen is right in Hermitage.
You're right in Hermitage after the police station, just a little.
Yeah, on the Alexis people property.
Yeah.
Right there.
You know, the slave pen.
Yeah, I know it. It's not too far from where I live in.
Yeah. And when I visited the slave pen, you know, tears just flowed through my eyes, seeing the inhumane conditions people of African descent had to be living under.
Yeah. Well, it was like a concentration camp.
Yeah, it's a very nasty sight to see, but I think they should maintain it for historical purposes so that the nation's people could get an insight, if they don't have that insight yet, into what the population had been through.
So what do you think, now the carnival is over, do you think that the Grenadian people have to wait till next year again to see big shows, or you think, being as they have a good new government and they say transformation, man, do you think they will perhaps revive cultural activity in St. Andrew? Is a big parish. Furthermore, I think they should name St. Andrew the Jab Nation capital city, because I think St. Andrew have the most Jab bands that play real Jab in drumming, spelling, and St. Patrick. I'm from St. Patrick. We have bands too, but St. Andrews is bigger, and you guys have more band. Because in Hermitage we have a band.
Yeah.
But St. Andrew, what maybe should be, perhaps if they care about culture, make it more a place where The maker of Jab Jab. I don't know. Because St.
Yeah,
Patrick is
if
the
they
home.
ready,
St.
if they
Patrick
ready,
is the home of the chutney.
yeah,
Growing up, every village in St. Patrick's had a chutney band except Montrose. Montrose
right,
didn't used to have a chutney band. And River Sally, yes, they had a one or twice
chutney.
when I was growing up. But
Yeah,
you had bands like Rosehill.
yeah, but they had them still.
No, Rosehill still there.
Yeah,
You had there was a band of mask called Janet for only bad boys. So
yeah.
you had to have your PhD and your master's degree in bad in Bajan or bad boy to play for Janet. So, so Janet band was rude boys
Yeah,
from Montreach, Rosehill, wherever the rude boys come out.
yeah,
Montfenville,
yeah,
Sortes, bad boys, you know. And
yeah.
then you have Hermitage, Montreach, Montreal, all these are Chutney bands. So Montreach, Montreal, there were bands of Chutney there. Hermitage, Snell Hall, Lamode,
All these
Darby,
places, yeah.
Montcraven, Shantimel, and Samaritan. There is Samaritan St. Patrick and Samaritan St. Mark. So they used to have a band too. So
Yeah.
there was a lot of Chutney growing up as a little boy. We just stand up by the police station in Hermitage and we just watch mass.
Understand? And there
All
was
the,
more,
yeah,
let me say, bands and everything in comparison to now, you know.
yeah,
The
yeah,
amount of
yeah.
bands they had before. We don't have that now, you know.
No, no. Now this he look like if he had a lot more this year. Than,
Yeah, for the longest while this year
you see a lot of them.
has an increase here.
But our next thing again, you on the ground. When the SMC was formed, they almost killed rural culture because they wanted to make Jab Jab a Juvemas.
Yeah.
And they wanted to kill, when I say kill, get rid of Moonlight City. So what will happen to us in rural Grenada if the SMC, the original
They were
SMC,
successful in
had
they were
succeeded?
successful in doing that.
And they were
They will actually kill the cannibal.
yeah, and they were mostly urban-based Grenadian intellectuals.
Yeah.
With one particular guy he was young, from the western side. He went to school in Tongue and he hung out with this past PRG guys what outside into politics. They are his friends. You know what I'm talking about? The
Yeah, I
guy's
know.
a lawyer. He was the chairman of Spice Mass before the change of this new government. He
And
was part of, which I was surprised as a rural person. But then again, he's a young guy, so I don't know. You could be very educated, but then there's a knowledge on the street you don't know.
That's it.
Yeah.
And this is what is baffling a lot of them.
Yeah. The
And
academics is one,
lacking that experience.
but the real education is on the street.
That's right.
So that's why maybe we need more rural people to get involved in writing and doing what you and I doing now. Now
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
do live because I don't care. And one thing I learned not to say bad things about people.
That's all.
So I'm not a person who will do a live to lie on people.
No, but whatever you say must be truthful, and it must be something that people could actually benefit from.
Because I the first,
whether they like it or not.
I the only Grenadian ever pick up a pen and write newspaper and defend Jab Jab when the SMC was formed and they tried to destroy it. Yeah. Now I see everybody come back again.
But I remember when I was in Canada, when we were there together,
yeah,
you challenged the entire Trinidad and Tobago about the essence of about carnival.
But they who caused me to play, then I had a chutney band to protect our culture. A Trinidadian guy offered me money to go and mobilize some chutney for him to play in the band. The guy is a school teacher. The last time I saw him, he go back and live in Trinidad. And he offer me money, but you see me, money don't buy me.
At all.
So I said to myself, no, I'm not a fool. So I go and make a band. I make a Shatney band. We Shatney band. The first year when I registered the band, I take my money in my pocket and I register the band. And Livingston Nelson and his brother Renwick Harry was 3 of us name what was on it, like the registration of the band. But I was the man who registered the band. I pay $125, and when the carnival over, they give me back part of the $125. The reason why they give me back part of the $125, they say it's a license to be on the road in case something happens.
Okay.
Right. So the Trinidadian guy, you know, when he realized we keep playing, the year I go to get my number to play mass, he said, don't take us as a band. How the Trini bands, they want large numbers. So then we still get we band. They couldn't stop us. So every year we play, and some Nigerian professors in Canada, they lecture in here. They send and call us and ask us about Shatney. And they knew it was Igungun mass from the Yoruba people.
That's right.
They bring us in Royal York Hotel and make us do some Shatney for them, Shatney performance. And they give each of us $50. It was 3 of us. You know, and he had food, we had a good little time, and we go.
Right.
But then now, after a woman, she parents is Grenadian and she's a Trini. She was doing a PhD. So I don't know if she was real, if she was fake. She used to call me and I used to give her a lot of information, but she's a Trinidadian. She told me her parents came from St. David. She's a Agard. Agard is her last name, from St. David.
Okay.
She's a Agard and a Regis, she told me, from St. David. But anyway, she was good to me. When I say good to me, she moved me good, and me man, I know a lot of old stuff. But she's an intellectual. She was getting information from me.
Okay, the man at the ground.
Yeah, I don't feed Caribbean intellect academias with my information again. I rather go in the grave with it. I don't give them. So anyway, she invited me now to go come down at UFT, and she tell me there is a Jewish professor there, a white man, and they want to know about Shatney again. And there was 2 Nigerian professors there. When we go down, the same Trini guy, and he's a school teacher, and another Trini school teacher guy, what does Bitpan? They didn't allow me to do my presentation because before the presentation, we had a little exchange of dialogue, you know.
Right.
And I was able to call an older date in Grenada history because the scholars want to know where the French colonized and the history of Carnival. And because Grenada was colonized for 100 and something years before Trinidad was colonized ever colonized by somebody, by
the Spanish.
The Spanish claim it, but they didn't have no colonies on it.
Yeah.
The pirates used to meet there and patch the boat. So when Ralph Abercrombie defeated Julian Fedor, the last time when he came and when he going back, he take Trinidad in the name of the British monarch, and then Trinidad become a colony. So when there's professors looking for information, the Grenadian could call a older date of Grenada slave society, the Trinidadian prevent me from doing my present. So after that, the lady, she tried to come back for more information. I don't give them. And there was a Tobagonian scholar there. A scholar from Tobago named Cavascobi. And he was not pleased with how the Trini treat me. He was born in Tobago. And he told me he lived in Grenada for some years. He's a scholarly man. He was not pleased.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between a Tobagonian and a Trinidad in terms of relationship.
Every day.
So but I don't know. I'm watching Grenada and see what's going on now. Well, I think what we gonna do now, being as we have this thing and set up your phone good.
Yeah.
We're going to do a live. This one is just we test.
Oh yeah.
You could talk about you could talk about Malcom X again.
Yeah.
But we just test today.
Yeah, today that test
and
run.
then if any Grenadian you know who want to go live with a story, I'm not doing that for money.
No.
It's because
we're doing that to educate.
You said you want to go live. You want to go live, so I do it. So if any Grenadian who want to come forward, I don't know melee thing. I don't want no melee thing. I like grassroots education. It could mix up with a little academic too, because me and you not we don't stupid. We went to school.
Yeah.
So that's how we want it. We don't want no high academic thing. There are people for it. We on the ground. So anyway, well, we go close it there now.
Yeah, well, before
and then I go try to trim out the part what.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then.
But they could do all the trimmings because it's just like a test trial.
Yeah. I will take from where we get it going.
It's a very good original video.
But then it come out very clear. It come out clear and things. So.
Come out nice. And then no, this gentleman is seen here. See that guy here?
What are you hiding, sir?
I ain't hiding.
That's your son?
That's my brother.
Oh, well, I see the looks.
The young brother.
So he is.
That's what I'm saying.
He is from family circles. He is another third cousin of Malcom.
Malcom X.
Yeah.
Okay. So
the difference between me and him is that I am the historical third cousin of Malcom X.
Okay.
I am the only family member of that family who have met 5 family members from the North American side. Nobody else in the family ever met anybody.
So that life is to tell the Grenadian people that the Malcom X family are there. And it is time that scholarly people pay more interest into them than looking just for the academic.
Yeah, and stop this kind of historical presentation when they're talking. I've been listening for over 40 years. And all I'm hearing, his mother was born in Grenada. And that's all.
They don't care about the other people.
That's all they care about. Their narrative, because you see certain type of people, whenever Malcom X's daughter come to Grenada, they want to have her in a corner and disconnect her from connecting with family. That's how they behave. And they've been doing that for the longest while. And I don't even bother about them with them and that. I'm not bothering.
So you know what to say that they're doing as if that family extinct.
That's right.
But you guys are here.
We are here, and there are numerous families from Grenada here. There is only the last surviving second cousin of Malcom X, mother, whose mother was Malcom X's aunt.
Yeah.
Gertrude Rosilia Seeley.
She's still around.
She's still around. She's about 85, 86 years old. 85.
85 years. Where she live?
She's alive and well.
Where she live?
She live in Granbras.
Granbras. Okay.
And they don't want to know that. They don't want to.
So why don't they document the lady and she could give the oral? You and her. Well, bring her next time and we go do it.
She she's an old lady.
But now you say you have something to say and you tell me I look fearless.
Yeah.
Because The other Grenadian people who do live, they're on a different vibes.
Oh yeah,
I different.
He's a man of truth. When you have to tell something,
Well, you see, me's a
like
creative person. So I just say it as it is, you know. So we go save that life. I want to trim out the first part and bring it to the thing.
Save that live day.
Yeah, man. All right.
And maybe I just have a copy of that live day, so I have it like just for
I'm putting it on Facebook.
Yeah, well, let it out there.
And then you do what you want to do it. All right.
That's right.
And I could also send you it too. So you do what you wanted. All right. So anyway, we link.
Yeah, we link and live, and that's good. Thank you so much.
I will cut off now.
Yes.
But I have to make it the screen smaller for me to cut it off. Don't go. Don't go. Just stay there. All right. Don't go. Stay there. I just make it smaller. So I'll cut off now. Broadcast end.
Okay.